Hello and welcome to Teleislas News, the most relevant and important information of the day.
More than 4,000 doses of SINOVAC vaccines were destined for the sister islands of Providence and Santa Catalina in order to immunize the population against the possible contagion of COVID-19 due to the future arrival of personnel that will support the reconstruction of the houses in the municipality.
The Ministry of Health allocated 4,082 doses of vaccines from the SINOVAC pharmaceutical company to World Providence and Santa Catalina to benefit the population from 18 years of age upwards. Health Minister Fernando Ruiz explained the allocation.
We also assigned 4,092 doses of SINOVAC for the unification of the vaccination plan in the islands of Old Providence and Santa Catalina to immunize the entire population from 18 years of age and older. Within this exceptional decision that was generated by the National Vaccination Committee to protect the population of these two islands from the arrival of people who will come from the mainland to start the reconstruction.
The manager of the ESE and related authorities are in the sister island making all the preparations that correspond to the beginning of the vaccination in the municipality and announced that they will be giving statements tomorrow. It must be emphasized that the vaccinations are being implemented in low-age range due to the incoming and outgoing personnel, both from the public first and reconstruction personnel that will be surrounding the island during the reconstruction process.
Considering the break economy that the department had after the impact caused by the passage of Hurricanes Eta and Iota and of the COVID-19 pandemic, the interim governor announced that this year will be the year of efforts to revitalize the economy and reactivate the islands.
2020 was a bad year. It was a difficult year. That is why we are limited with the resources of 2021. Why I give the example? 2019 is the year that feeds 2020, and in that year there was a good dynamic in terms of income since the tourism card worked very well, and in the 2020 everything stopped since March because of the pandemic, so we are limited because we depended on that income.
Following this line, the department's leader affirms that depend a lot on the management line. That is why this year they will present a budget addition project.
Now we are going to present a budget addition project in the order of more than 50,000 million pesos, which will be distributed among the secretariats. We have to start reactivating the economy with works from local level.
The governor emphasized that with all the reconstruction that is being done in the department, the local labor force has also been activated, which also stimulates the economy in the islands.
And with a limited capacity among inmates, guards, and visitors, the date has been set for the resumption of visits to inmates at the New Hope prison.
The directives of the New Hope prison, together with the Secretary of Health, have been working for a week on the protocols for the entry of visitors to the penitentiary center after the national government authorized visits to prisons. The director of the New Hope prison indicated that the day for the reactivation of visits is in first stage under the interview model has already been defined.
We have already finished the protocol for the interview type visit. In fact, on Friday, we are going to start with this protocol. The inmates have already made their list and they have already decided who is going to visit them. And they are going to have 40 minutes for the interview visit, following all the protocols and the distancing measures. Once we finish the intimate or conjugal visit protocol and it is approved by the Secretariat of Health, we will start the second step, which would be the conjugal visit.
Within the protocols for entering the prison will be the changing of masks when entering, hand washing, use of antibacterial gel, and keeping social distance. Puello announced that conversations have been held with the governor's office for the construction of a new prison on the island.
And continuing with news from the prison, interim governor Allen J. Stevens announced that the project for the expansion of the penitentiary center in the department is moving forward.
In an interview with Teleislas News, the governor in charge of the department, Allen J. Stephens, spoke about the expansion of the penitentiary center of the islands, considering that the current one is no longer sufficient.
The ideal situation is that we would not have penitentiary centers, but the reality is that the one we have is not enough. we have the issue of accused versus convicted criminals. So in a single prison institution, these two situations are housed, and the ideal situation according to regulations is that we have a special place for the accused where they are not with the convicted, and for that more space is demanded in the prison.
The jail is currently located in the industrial zone nearby the Magic Garden landfill and the electric power company Sopesa. What they aspire is to acquire a property close those places.
The strategy we are looking for is not to have these establishments scattered in the territory, but instead to take advantage of the fact that there are places already established for this and concentrate it where the prison is currently located. However, it is worth noting that where the prison is currently located, it cannot be expanded because they are strategic ecosystems, and that would generate an impact.
The governor stated that he already have a property identified and have requests throughout the planning secretariat that is be declared as a public utility.
And in other news, the Chamber of Commerce, together with Resumption, invite businessmen interested in the business of fruits, vegetables, and food products of the island to a meeting.
If you are an entrepreneur interested in the commercialization of food products in the island, this information is of interest to you. In order to improve the quality of products in the department and the offers of businessmen and entrepreneurs, the Chamber of Commerce invites you to a great meeting with the presence of a guest who is an exporter of products to Curaçao, Aruba, Bahamas, and other Caribbean islands.
There will be a meeting tomorrow, Friday, March 26, at 9 a.m. at the Chamber of Commerce. A person will come to explain the possibility of doing business with fruits and vegetables. All those people who are in this business are cordially invited, and it is an opportunity to buy products cheaper and make a better offer to our community.
The meeting will be held at the Alejandro Rankin Hall of the Chamber of Commerce and will have a maximum capacity of 30 people.
Now we continue with news from the sister islands of Old Providence. The Resumption Authority and ASOPACFA Association of Farmers and Fishermen of the department made statements to the public opinion in support of the peaceful protest of the fishermen of Old Providence against the construction of the Coast Guard station.
La Armada Nacional lleva más de 20 años en la isla.
After the publication of a video on social media qualifying as misinformation and false news, the declarations given by several Resumption activists to news portals, the Resumption Authority spoke about the support to the process of peaceful protests that the fishermen from the Fish and Farm Co-op are carrying out in Old Town.
Supposedly strategic communication, but it was just a fake and a lie. They did not have any proof of what they've said, and there have never been any Coast Guard base there. So what they're doing, taking advantage of the Iota hurricane that devastated our island and building on top of the people's hurt, their loss, their lack, their anxiety, their depression, their stress, their fear.
The communique contains 7 points, among which they mention that the construction not only goes over the head of the community, but also over the head of the local administration that was democratically elected.
Once it's built, nobody's going to be able to go out there at the Coast Guard dock, not even the fishers. They occupy the fisher, and worst of all, the environmental impact, the environmental studies for the permit to construct a Coast Guard dock has not been requested and has not been supported. They haven't turned in any support.
On the other hand, ASOPACFA also issued a communique backing this protest.
Pretending to implement a Coast Guard base in Old Town Bay. We know that these BSmen never built here before, so they can't say that they are rebuilding something that they never existed before. Therefore, it's a new project, and in the year 2015, the community rejected all the possibilities for them to have this Coast Guard base.
Regarding the video, the Navy reported that this is only the opinion of a journalist.
And the installation of a new meteorological station by the General Maritime Direction in the municipality will help to obtain real-time information about the climatic changes in the municipality.
Through press release 82, the port captaincy in Old Providence announced the installation of a new meteorological station in order to watch over the integral safety at seas.
En esta oportunidad
On this occasion, the installation of a weather station for the generation of early warnings on the island of Old Providence was carried out. This meteorological station would serve to obtain information in real time through the generation and analysis of indicators.
Indicators such as precipitation, atmospheric pressure, wind direction and speed, solar radiation, and relative humidity will serve for the decision making by authorities.
los datos captados por la estación.
The data collected by station are sent to the Oceanographic and Hydrographic Research Center of the Caribbean, where the validation of the numerical models is carried out, as well as the marine weather forecast of the main ports of the Caribbean and the route forecast of the vessels arriving and departing from the archipelago.
The station is located in the Black Sand Bay section.
Está compuesta por una...
It's composed of a metal structure that integrates different state-of-the-art sensors. It is also powered by solar energy in order to contribute to the environment.
With this new station, authorities will be more informed on the climate changes that can affect the island and islanders.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. With the objective of integrating the different sectors of the island with the sport of softball, a friendly match was held. In a friendly softball game between the sectors of Cocal and Guangaro, the players were integrated to have fun and recreate themselves in harmony with this sport, demonstrating friendship and brotherhood between the inhabitants of these sectors. Players, managers, and coaches showed their satisfaction for the resumption of softball activities in the island archipelago. We also had a dialogue with one of the players.
Primero que todo, darle gracias a Dios que nuevamente se está reactivando.
First of all, thanks to God that once again softball is being reactivated in the archipelago. My name is Oswaldo Gonzalez, and today we are playing a friendly softball game between the team of the Guangaro neighborhood and the team of the Cocal sector, which is an open team. Anyone can play, and I am happy because we are returning to what we most like, sports, and reactivating softball on the island of San Andres. It is an enormous joy since, as you know it, this pandemic kept us a long time isolated and withdrawn from friends, withdrawn from the stadium, so it is an immense joy. Only who lives it knows it.
As mentioned by Osvaldo Gonzalez, the reactivation of softball plays an important role for part of the sport community in the archipelago. The Maracaná's court returned the veteran champions, gathering old glories of professional football. Returning to the Maracaná's court plays a very important role for the veteran football players. Here, some icons of professional football meet to recreate and keep fit and share with some old friends to play the game of football. One of them, Wilbert Rossini, who does manifest his joy to return to play at this court after a long due of pandemic outbreak.
After this pandemic, it is very important to go back to the fields to play sports to distract us a little and not to be in trouble and other things. The truth is that it is very important to reactivate soccer again.
Another that tells of his experience to returning to the Maracaná to play football is the former professional football player of the Tolima Sports, Fabián Barbosa.
This is historic. I am going back to my beginnings, to the field where I was born as a soccer player. And this is nice. I am playing with the neighborhood team, with my friends, the childhood friends I left behind. Today I'm contributing something very important to the Barrio Obrero neighborhood.
Important to come back after this pandemic to meet with my friends and players like Fabián Barbosa, like SINOVAC, Carlos Perez. Is the integration that we need long time.
Returning to the courts is pleasant and beneficial to health, as it was manifested by players and coaches.